You think death takes breaks? Not in Neo Edo. Here, death walks on 2 feet, wrapped in shadow, wearing a robe that drips like oil across the pavement. No face, just darkness beneath the hood. He doesn't talk, doesn't knock, he simply moves, step by step, through alleys soaked in neon blood. The Reaper's robe is long, heavy, dragging behind like the city's own regret. Fabric like wet velvet stitched with time, silence and code. No armor, no chrome, no glowing edges, just tradition. In his hands, the scythe, massive, curved, ancient. Wood handle, worn smooth. Blade, darkened steel, etched in runes so old, even Morty can't translate them. He doesn't carry it like a weapon. He carries it like memory. Rain hisses around him. Pavement reflects pinks, blues and violence. Neon signs flicker above, glitching, twitching with static. Somewhere down the alley, a Synth Angel advertisement stutters mid-prayer. He walks through it. Light passes through the folds of his robe, doesn't touch him. Beside him, the drone, Morty. A hovering sphere of metal and sensors, chirping softly, scanning always. A beam of light shines from its base, casting holographic HUDs that hover in the mist. Death has an assistant now. One that nags. One that counts. Next pickup. Confirmed. Priority. Medium. 17-year-old male. Synthetic serotonin overdose. No backup requested. The Reaper says nothing. The drone rotates. Would it kill you to say something? He keeps walking. A nearby billboard explodes into static. The city coughs. This isn't the afterlife. It's the queue. And he's the one taking roll. Step by step. Assignment by assignment. 999 shifts and counting. No reset. No sleep. Just soul after soul. He turns down a side alley. Water rushes beneath his feet, reflecting his silhouette like a funeral shadow. People think the Reaper glides. He doesn't. He trudges. He sighs, barely audible beneath the rain. Death isn't a mystery in Neo Edo. It's logistics. One name at a time. A final breath. A scan. A transfer. Tonight. He has 42 more pickups. In this city, no one dies alone. But they don't die remembered either. They die on schedule, and someone always shows up to sign the receipt. The Reaper doesn't knock. He walks straight through the glitching smart door like fog through circuitry. Inside, a single-room flat soaked in silence. A VR headset flickers red on a twitching standby loop. A boy lies on the couch, 17, lifeless, one shoe off. Synthetic serotonin still pumping through the veins. The Reaper kneels beside him, soaked robe pooling on the floor like spilled ink. Morty floats overhead, casting soft holographic scans across the boy's chest. Flatline confirmed. Neural signature missing. The Reaper's scythe doesn't move. His hood tilts. No soul, no echo, no trace. That's not how death works. Even in Neo Edo, even with tech this cold, souls always leave a shadow. But this kid, he's already been erased. Morty confirms. Ghost code trace detected. Soul chain interruption. Layer 7 breach. Ghost code, a banned method. Someone intercepted the soul at the moment of death, copied it, deleted the original. The Reaper rises slowly. His cloak drips neon. He looks around the room. Walls breathing with digital static, glitching lights like dying memories. There's something else here. Not data, a feeling. Morty buzzes nervously. Environmental anomaly detected. Emotional resonance. Abnormal. He steps closer to the VR headset. It flashes. A face appears, distorted, half-formed, gone in a blink. The Reaper doesn't flinch, just stares into the red glow. He places 2 fingers on the boy's chest. Someone stole your end, he mutters. I'm going to find out who. The city hides its secrets below the neon. The signal trail from the ghost code doesn't lead to a server. It leads to a sewer hatch. Behind a flickering vending machine in an abandoned transit hub, the Reaper finds it. A panel opens with a screech. Rust. Decay. He descends into the dark. The wet robe clings to his legs as he climbs down rusted ladders into the undernet, an off-grid digital space buried beneath the city's infrastructure. It's not just physical, it's constructed, a hybrid between forgotten tech and bleeding code. He walks a corridor lined with thick cables like synthetic veins. The walls breathe. Morty dims its lights. Unauthorized zone. Civilian access prohibited. Threat risk escalated. Keep scanning, the Reaper says, his voice like gravel dragged through code. The space opens into a cathedral-like server hall. Towers of stacked data cores blink and pulse in rhythmic patterns, like a heartbeat. At the center, a living data wall, cables snaking from it like vines, dripping code. And standing before it, 3 cloaked figures, not Reapers, not alive, not exactly, souljackers. They don't move, but they know he's here. Their bodies twitch, distorting at the edges, like corrupted avatars frozen mid-render. Morty's scans fail instantly. No biosigns, no readable code. This isn't in the system. The Reaper steps forward, scythe in hand. The air vibrates. One of the souljackers raises a hand. The wall responds. A pulse of raw data erupts from the core, liquid light that twists the space around it. Suddenly, he's not in the undernet anymore. He's somewhere else. Somewhere that looks a lot like a memory. Morty's voice breaks through static. Warning. Firewall breach. Psychic architecture detected. This isn't defense, it's interrogation. And whatever's in here, he knows that face. Glitching, incomplete, but burned into memory like a scar. The soul stands at the center of the firewall. A human form, barely stable. Its glow pulses with erratic energy like it's running on stolen time. The Reaper doesn't flinch, doesn't speak, but under the hood, something shifts. He reaped this soul before, logged it, transferred it. It should be gone. But here it is, alive, aware, and calling him by a name he hasn't heard since he died. A real name, not the one they gave him. The soul opens its mouth, no words, just memory, download. The firewall collapses inward, a blast of light. Suddenly, he's no longer in the undernet. He's standing in a hallway, his old hallway, before the system, before the scythe, before everything. Screams echo, a door swings open. He sees a child, a woman crying, then fire. Morty's voice breaks in, distorted. Neural destabilization, data contamination, exit now. The Reaper collapses to one knee. Scythe hits the ground with a heavy clang. The soul flickers again, begins to unravel. He reaches out, but it's already fading. Its code breaking apart like ash in wind, deleted again. But it leaves something behind. A shard of corrupted data, buried in the firewall logs. A single name, his. Not the mask, not the Reaper ID, the name they erased. The one they never expected him to find again. Neo Edo hums beneath a sky of static clouds. The Reaper walks high above the noise, on a deserted mag rail track that cuts across the skyline like a scar. Wind coils around his robe, dragging its soaked black folds across cold metal. The scythe rests across his back like a grave he's always carrying. No calls, no pings, just silence. Morty floats behind him, scanning quietly. It doesn't speak, not yet. The Reaper stops, looks down at the neon sea of the city. He replays the moment again. The soul, the memory, his name. Not a code name, not Reaper 00X, the one they erased. a name that unlocked a memory no one was supposed to survive. Morty finally breaks the silence. Your system is unstable. The Reaper doesn't respond, just watches the lights, wonders how many souls in that city are walking around, already stolen. He turns to Morty. Why was my name in that firewall? The drone buzzes, lights dim slightly. I cannot answer that. Try. Access restricted. Authorization level exceeds current clearance. A beat of silence. You've never said that before. Another pause. Then, because you were never meant to see that file. The Reaper lowers his head slightly. A new ping hits the air. Morty freezes. Incoming job. Untraceable source. No timestamp. The Reaper opens the file. No data. No image. Just one sentence. Return to where it started. He grips the side tighter. Takes one step forward. The robe flutters in the wind. Morty asks, soft and uncertain, "Where are we going?" The Reaper answers, "To remember."